Okay, so back in late March of 2023, Turkish psychedelic revivalists Altin Gun released their 5th album, Aşk, on Glitterbeat, throughout the world and on ATO Records here in the United States. We just took a look at this here on the FENSEPOST vinyl channel not too long ago, but today I'm going to share my thoughts and opinions on the album in a good, old-fashioned album review. I am Andy, and this is the FENSEPOST vinyl channel. Altin Gun is, believe it or not, a Grammy-nominated band out of Amsterdam, Netherlands, that creates Turkish psychedelic folk. Often dubbed as Turkish psychedelic revivalists, Wikipedia notes that the style of music they create is actually called Anatolian rock, which is a fusion of psychedelic rock with Turkish folk that emerged in Turkey during the mid-1960s, but whose origins actually can be traced all the way back to the 1930s. Ultimately, its golden age was the 1960s through the 1980s. As often found in Europe, the members aren't necessarily from Amsterdam or the Netherlands originally. Both the band's vocalists are from Turkey, whereas the other 4 are Dutch. I mentioned they are a Grammy-nominated band. That nomination came for their sophomore album. And I might be butchering the pronunciation here, Gece, G-E-C-E. That was released in 2019, and it was nominated for Best World Music Album. This is really my introduction to Altin Gun, so I can't fully speak to what they created prior to this, Aşk, with any comfort or credibility. But what I can do is share my thoughts on this, why I love the worldly psychedelic music, and drop a few other albums from my collection that lend to a more expansive view of the psychedelic genre. In 2018, New Model Radio opened their review for the album On, debut album by Altin Gun, with a quote by William Blake. And I'll quote it here. "In the universe, there are things that are known and things that are unknown. And in between, there are doors." They go on to write, quote, "To discover new things, you sometimes need someone to open a door between the known and the unknown." Music has always been that door for me, providing an opening to an expansion of the mind. From my own inner depths to new philosophical ideas, to channeling expressions of emotion. Music provides access to, provides a gateway into the unknown. And nowhere is that more apparent than in psychedelic rock. So removed from our traditional Western culture that it forces you to open your mind to new ideas or even heightened planes of existence. Listening to Aşk, I can't help but feel the constraints and limitations of my worldly experience. For example, I've never really truly been outside the United States. I'm not counting Canada, I'm not counting Mexico. And I feel those things slip away a little. It's a similar experience to that which I felt originally upon listening to the psychedelic rock band Kikagaku Moyo, the Japanese noise rock band Ghost, and this compilation dubbed Those Shocking Shaking Days, Indonesian hard psychedelic progressive rock and funk, 1970 to 1978. Beyond looking to the past for parallels and influencers, what we get with Aşk lends quite well to the modern neo-psychedelic rock music of today, and it's a very welcome mashup of musical generations. The draw from historic Anatolian rock, the traces of modern neo-psych, and the push towards something that you could even call borderline futuristic, but in a very non-traditional sense. Clash Music, who reviewed the album nearly a month prior to its release, went so far as to dub it, quote, "Space Country." I quite like that. I think it fits. They also note, quote, "It's unfamiliar, yet comforting, old-fashioned, but out there. Like finding a faded sci-fi paperback in a language you perhaps don't speak yourself." End quote. I can get behind that. To be blunt, if you only want to listen to music sung in English, Aşk and Altin Gun is not for you. You won't like it. You won't care. to each their own. But in my humble opinion, I'd say that you're missing out on something that is truly great. Despite their high output of 5 critically acclaimed albums in 5 years, despite their Grammy nomination, despite, quote, being immensely popular around the world, as Line of Best Fit puts it, quote, Altin Gun are the planet's best kept secret. I mean, I'm just now discovering them, and you might be as well. This band deserves greater presence and much more awareness here in the States. The funky bass lines, the wah-wah of the guitars, which add a Middle Eastern flair, the dueling male-female vocals, it will all mesmerize you, entrance you, suck you into its true greatness. If you've been a stranger to Altin Gun like I have, Aşk is a viable entry point to a truly great band, and I implore you to dig in and give it a solid listen. Down in the description below this video, on YouTube at least, I'll link to a few music videos the band has released from Aşk. You can also find them on the written album review on my blog, FENSEPOST, which I'll also provide a link to below as well. That post will include reference links to reviews I quoted from New Model Radio, Clash Music, and the Line of Best Fit. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this review, and if you did, feel free to subscribe for more. And next, if you haven't yet, check out this video right here where I unbox my copy of this album, which is the indie exclusive pressing on ghostly orange vinyl. It's truly one of the coolest pieces of wax in my collection. I will see you next time.